Claire Yosa here with the next video in how to ditch a limiting belief in under 5 minutes. And in this video, we're going to be looking at why ditching your limiting beliefs needs to be one of your top business priorities if you want to get out of your own way and make a bigger difference in the world. So why bother ditching that belief? Why not just push on through or work around it or pretend it's not there? After all, we've done it for decades and it seems to have worked okay, doesn't it? Well, there comes a point where what you've been doing stops working. There comes a point in your entrepreneurial or business owner journey where pretending that everything's okay and pushing on through no longer brings results. And there are 5 ways that limiting beliefs affect us in our businesses. 1, they keep us stuck playing small because we say no to the things that are outside our comfort zone, often without even realizing we justify that. 2, they cause us to give too much away for free or to discount before we even ask for it because maybe we don't believe we're worth what we're charging. 3, it keeps us stuck in our comfort zones, creating this inner conflict. So your inner entrepreneur is screaming at you, do this, it's exciting, it's going to be wonderful, look at the difference that could make. And the bit of you that's making the decisions is playing scared and throwing cold water on those dreams. 4, if you don't believe in yourself at the deepest level, totally congruently, how can you expect your customers to do so? And if we go through a period of doubt, we will manifest attracting clients to us who doubt us too, and they'll be more likely to complain and ask for refunds. 5, it means you'll look back in 10 years' time, full of regret at the opportunities you wish you had taken, the bigger difference you wish you could have made. And I'm going to give you a bonus one. It is exhausting. I've been there. I have a drawer full of this t-shirt, of feeling the fear and doing it anyway, yeah? Feeling that limiting belief and pushing on through. It's really hard work. It takes willpower. It's scary. Surely it would be easier just to be able to identify that limiting belief, get rid of it, and feel that sense of freedom. That expansion, letting go of that fear, getting to be more of who you really are and make the difference you're really here to make. So I'm going to give you some neuroscience here. Just so you know, it's not just psychology and it's not just engineer-approved woo-woo here. Your brain has filters in. It's called the reticular activating system. Without the RAS, reticular activating system, every time you took a step, you'd have to be consciously aware of the ground beneath your feet and the balance in your body and even the air pressure in your ears. The RAS filters our sensory inputs so that the only ones we become consciously aware of are the ones that are important to us, and everything runs in the background on autopilot. It's really useful. It's why we can walk. It's why we can drive a car. It's why we can talk. It's also why if you buy a new car and it's red, suddenly everything on the road is red because that bit of your brain is going, oh, red car, red car, red car, red car. It's why if somebody's doing a presentation at work and they've got a core belief of I'm rubbish at presenting, it doesn't matter how fantastic the feedback is, the bits they'll notice and remember were the bored looks, the yawns, and stuff that they perceive as criticism. Because that is what makes it through the filter. So your limiting beliefs and your empowering beliefs are what govern this filter, what gets through. Beliefs control your thoughts. In the beautiful model called Neurological Levels by Robert Dilts, our beliefs govern our thoughts because our thoughts are responses to those sensory stimulus. If our beliefs are governing through the RAS, the information that comes in, that information triggers the thoughts. So if one of the filters is, I'm rubbish at client pitches, I never get the deal, the thoughts that will come through are all the reasons why you're justifying being rubbish at client pitches and never getting the deal. So the beliefs trigger the thoughts, our thoughts control our actions. If we keep telling ourselves we can't do something, the likelihood of us doing it is actually really low. Yes, if you crank up your big why enough, you can break through those fears, but most of the time we won't. So it's like a pyramid. with your beliefs governing your thoughts, governing your actions and behaviors and habits. So the other thing that happens with your thoughts is they create neural pathways in your brain. And imagine that you're walking through a field and the grass is quite high and there's no path. The first time you walk through, you'll trample down some grass. The next day, there'll be no sign of you having been there. But if you walk that path over and over again, the grass will eventually wear away and the path will be there and very obvious even when it's not being used. It's the same in our brain. The more often we think a particular chain of thoughts, the stronger that neural pathway becomes until the trigger at the beginning autopilots us to the behavior at the end. This autopilot is really useful for cooking and driving and walking and general day-to-day living, but it's not so useful if you've got a particular trigger that always sets off the same behavior. You know, if there's a client that sends you an email with a particular tone in that you're perceiving and it always gets you responding defensively and you end up in that nasty dance, if you want to change that, you need to go below the surface. Simply trying to work at our behavior level, which almost every training course I did in my corporate life was working at the behavioral level, you're not changing the underlying triggers. Our behavior is just the top level surface symptom of what's really driving the show. Similarly, if you want to change it at the thought level, that's not going to work either. Those neural pathways are there. You can't think yourself out of a problem that you thought yourself into. Einstein famously says you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. You need to be getting so that you're changing those beliefs, physically changing the neuroscience filters in your brain in the reticular activating system. So how do you do that? There are two ways, and I'm going to share both of them with you in the next video, and why one, which is the one that nearly all of us choose, doesn't really work, and why the other one is so much easier and it's what you're going to do in this course.